Every morning the world starts quietly, one soft light at a time. Homes flicker awake, shops open. People take those first small steps into a brand new day. And in all of that ordinary movement, there's something kind of extraordinary. A moment worth noticing, a spark you feel before you even name it. Sometimes it's quiet, sometimes it's small, but kindness shows up right on time. And every morning we choose to show up with you so we can look for that spark together.
Good morning. I'm Matt Roof, the Uncommon Kindness Guy, and this is Kindness Rising. Let's rise together.
Yes, it's true. It is morning and it is good. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Kindness Rising this morning. I've got a quick question for you. Have you ever shouted at the television? Absolute, unwavering certainty and confidence during a game show, only to immediately discover that you were spectacularly wrong. That's the same with me. Today we're talking about curiosity, trivia, learning, and game shows. Some of my favorite stuff. Good morning, everyone. Absolutely. Keith, Jess, Kathleen, welcome in this morning. As I had an itch on my nose. All right. Remember when just a normal, average-looking software engineer walked onto that Jeopardy set and accidentally became a national legend? One day in 2004, Ken Jennings won his first game. Nobody knew it, but America was about to meet a man who apparently stored encyclopedias right in his bloodstream. And honestly, his story might be something bigger than just knowing the facts. Stay with us. Stay with us as we get going here on Kindness Rising this morning. We'll be rocking in with the who's who for sure. We're going to be touched. Sully, good morning. Roseanne, yes. The whole crew. I think I have full attendance, and I know there are new people out there. I see you. I see you. You don't know that I see you. The numbers are bigger than the names reflected in the chat. We are chatters here. We get involved. We interact. We get engaged on Kindness Rising. Subscribe to the channel and come here every weekday, 7:30 a.m. Eastern, to rise with a little bit of kindness. Turn the music way down. To rise with a little bit of kindness, a little bit of less rage bait, more high fives for humanity getting up on the right side of the bed at 7:30 a.m. Eastern, or just having a good old half hour of chit chat, positivity, and good community for 30 minutes in your day. Take a pause, rise above the noise, hang out, especially our Gen X friends like Sully and Kathleen and Jess, and it is good morning to Keith and Roseanne and the whole crew. So if you're out there, get involved in the chat, say hello, let's talk. Today's show, we're talking about trivia and a huge change in media happening. Discovered that overnight. Hopefully you guys will have a chance to talk. Ivish 1563, Vish 1565, that's your name. I can't see so good. Vish. I wish you would keep coming back every single day at 7:30 a.m. Eastern. I've always had a soft spot for trivia. People know that who come here every day. Pure Gen X comfort food of game shows, Jeopardy, Pressure Luck, Family Feud, all the random knowledge, the competitive confidence, people aggressively reading buttons, obscure geography, and 18th century opera, which are two of my least successful topics. 18th century, I don't know. Geography is just my worst. We've talked about this. But it's just great television, and it's exciting, and it's interesting. And this is what fascinates me about Ken Jennings. Family Feud, yes, Kathleen, that is especially nice. Super Girl from Heaven is a North Indian grandpa. I love all this. Get involved. Tell us who you are. Kathleen loves the Family Feud. I can name that too. Now, here we go. The floodgates are open, but we're talking about the connection for Ken Jennings. Let me get that message in while you guys chitter chatter, get her at her about your game shows. What I love about Ken Jennings is all about curiosity. If you read him, pattern recognition, loving information enough to keep exploring, learning, reading, continuous curiosity. And I think that really matters right now because we live in a culture that puts enormous pressure on people to already have the answer. Hey, Holroyd, I know you lean into curiosity. I'm glad you're here with us this morning. But the world does expect that, right? Right? Pressure, already have the answer, already be an expert, already have a hot take, or already know exactly what you're doing. Meanwhile, most of us are just trying to remember our passwords and where we parked our car last night. But curiosity offers a different approach. Curiosity says you do not need to know everything. You just have to stay interested. Be teachable. Stay willing to explore. And honestly, that feels kinder than pretending we've all got our life completely figured out. Jennifer Bennett, 3131. Hello. Welcome in. Good morning to Kindness Rising. Vish from India, 1565. You got Vish from India coming to us. And Supergirl from Heaven is a North Indian grandpa. Maybe you guys know each other. There's a couple of people over there in India. You might have bumped into each other on the street or something. I'm just kidding. That would be ridiculous if you actually did know each other. That would be amazing. I'm just glad you came out. Come join us. It's 7:30 a.m. Eastern. I don't know what time it is in your part of the world, but I do think it would be wonderful if you became part of our community by subscribing to the channel and getting involved and answering our Who's question. Here we go. We're getting at it. This is Kathleen's favorite part. She's a champ at this. Jess Sully always brings good guesses. Let's do it. Vish, thank you. Subscribe to the channel. Have a great day. Keep it coming. All right. Clue number one for Who in the World? Who in the World today? Clue number uno. Maybe coming. Numero uno. This creative force left fingerprints across film, Broadway, television, orchestras, and popular music. A creative force in our world. All right. That's clue number one. That is clue number one. But we are going to continue our conversation, our continued conversation. So why am I talking about Ken Jennings today? Because today is the day, June 2nd, 2004. Can you believe it was 22 years ago? 22? Like, I remember like it was yesterday, it feels like. I don't know. Time is weird. Pretty normal television moment. A guy won a game of Jeopardy. Pretty cool. Except it wasn't. It was the first victory that turned into one of the most famous winning streaks in television game show history, of course. 74 consecutive wins. Millions of dollars, like 2-point-something millions in prizes, let alone all the other stuff that came along with the family debates, becoming an American name, and asking, how does this guy know so much about everything? Is this real? Did anybody else think for a while that it might have been fixed? I don't. You had to wonder, right? It's pretty amazing. Absolutely. But what people don't know is how much preparation Ken Jennings had done for that for his whole life. Not because he was preparing for Jeopardy. Nope. I mean, he may have known somewhere in his heart that he was going to be able to leverage all this information at somewhere, but just constant reading, curiosity, learning broadly, making connections, not magic, not superpowers, just curiosity repeated over and over and over again. And to me, that feels encouraging because being knowledgeable doesn't always mean being the smartest person in the room. Sometimes it means staying curious longer than the other people who stopped trying. And maybe that's the lesson in work and relationships and leadership and in life, that people who keep learning often outlast the people who think they've already arrived. That is the lesson for today. Absolutely. I'm glad you've joined me here on Kindness Rising. What? What was that? Appreciate you all. Right? Like unbelievable, Jess. Oh, yeah. Guys, I keep forgetting to switch this setting. Here you go. I think everybody's seeing everything anyway because you're all on YouTube, so you can have your own chat there. But put it up there in case our friends from over on LinkedIn choose to join us. Thought about re-expanding. I used to stream on several YouTube channels, Facebook, Insta, like everywhere. And I was like, you know what, I gotta focus on one or two things. But anyway, I'm glad you guys joined me on YouTube. Tell your friends, tell your family, subscribe to the channel, and come here for your media spot or your kindness spotlight every single day. Every single day. Hit the drop with me. We're doing a spotlight today that I know people out there in this audience are familiar with. We're going to talk about them anyway. Today's kindness spotlight goes to drum roll. Maybe. Reading is fundamental. You guys remember reading is fundamental? Look at Mr. T. Our buddy Mr. T is back, Jess. Elementary fool. Anyway, inspiring the joy of reading for 60 years and creating a new kind of readers. Amazing. Curiosity just doesn't magically appear one day in adulthood. It gets nurtured, fed, and encouraged. Built one question, one story, one book at a time. Absolutely. For decades, Reading is Fundamental has worked to expand children's literacy access and help young people discover the power of reading. Absolutely. That learning can actually be joyful, and honestly, that matters, because behind a future teacher, a future artist and scientist, entrepreneur, writer, or a weirdly dominant trivia player like Ken Jennings, there's often somebody who made curiosity feel welcome, who handed them a book, asked them a question, created space for them to wonder, because kindness isn't just helping people survive. Sometimes it's helping people discover what they might become. Reading is fundamental. I know you guys remember this one. They've been around. I pity the fool. I pity the fool who doesn't love to read. Yeah. All right. Vish, I apologize. I'm just seeing your comment right now. I am from New York. New York, not the city, the other part of New York, the other few square miles of territory called upstate New York. But that's where I'm at. If you're still out there, I appreciate you. All right, reading is fundamental. We all, I think you might remember that. I definitely do. The riff. Reading is fundamental. All right, how about another clue? Are you guys ready for clue number 2? Clue number 1 will taking you way back to clue number 1. This creative force left fingerprints across film, Broadway, television, orchestras, and popular music. Clue number 2 is a composer who helped make ragtime cool again for an entire generation. Fingerprints on film, Broadway, television, orchestras, and popular music. Making ragtime cool again for an entire generation. I bet we've got guesses already. Knowing this core group, I bet you've got guessings. I bet you've got guesses already. I hope you do. Because I would be disappointed if you didn't. Oh, you don't want to disappoint me, do you? Okay, for real though, for real. We're going to move into this next story. Headlines are happening. Currents. There is. Wow. Yesterday we were talking about breaking news. Here it is, breaking news. This one's been rolling through the headlines. NBC is making major shifts in its television strategy, including ending the long-running television institution Access Hollywood. 30 years Access Hollywood's been on the air as the company exits its first-run syndicated production. They're showing us the way that the media is changing. Gen X remembers this world. We didn't instantly know everything. Celebrity News had a schedule, 7:30 p.m. 7:30 p.m. is Access Hollywood, right? Or Entertainment Weekly. We subscribed to Entertainment Weekly. It was one of the first gifts I ever bought for Heather when we were dating. Was a subscription to Entertainment Weekly, and we subscribed all the way to the end, all the way to the last issue. It was a couple of years ago now that they stopped publishing the actual magazine, but we look forward to it. We look forward to the Entertainment Weekly dropping and seeing news and catching up on this. It wasn't scandals like the Inquirer as much as just real entertainment news about the stuff that we cared about. But anyway. Maybe you watched Entertainment Tonight, Access Hollywood, maybe E! News Daily or whatever, and then you moved on with your day. That was part of it. 7:30 was, you moved into the primetime TV, right? Seinfeld at 7, Access Hollywood or E! News Daily, whatever, at 7:30, and then your primetime. So it's just the way it was. Everybody with a phone today. Everybody with a phone is a broadcaster. Celebrity news breaks on TikTok way before they could ever produce it. Creators are creating their own networks. Celebrities have. The YouTube channels are way outperforming legacy studios, and that's why they're having to make all those changes. Audiences don't want to wait for media companies to tell them what matters. They built their own media diets. And NBC says these changes reflect evolving local programming preferences too, and broader shifts in the syndication business. The business model is changing fast, but here's the kindness question. What do we gain and what do we lose when media changes this dramatically? What I love about it is we're getting more voices, more access, more niche communications, more opportunities for individual creators. That's what we're doing here at Kindness Rising and at the Mornings in the Lab Network. Absolutely. But it also means more noise that you have to filter to, more fragmentation, people constantly clicking, more choices. Used to have 2 or 3 channels, then we had 10, then we had 100, and now it's infinite. It's infinite, the number of places that you can go for content. And that's why I appreciate so much that you guys come here to YouTube. I'm Kindness Rising, and join the Mornings in the Lab, your place for consistent, positive, constant, awesome morning content. Absolutely, starting right here at 7:30 a.m. Eastern with Kindness Rising, getting over to Mornings in the Lab with Keith, John, and friends. Today is Tuesday. They're going to have Brianna Bass over there, our studios relationship and sex expert that comes to us on Tuesdays. John Anderson will be over there too today, of course, and then tomorrow is Wednesday, the big day. Oh, and we also have, today is Tuesday, I forgot, Sarah Barnes, Humphrey's Chance. Yes, Thoughts and Coffee is part of the Let's Talk Supply Chain Network here on the Mornings in the Lab Network. We're all connected. We are connecting the dots for those people in the supply chain world, and Sarah Barnes Humphrey is leading the way on the Mornings in the Lab Network. So check her out too if that's an area of interest for you. All right, that's our commercial for today. I pity the fool who doesn't get over to Mornings in the Lab. All right, enough of that nonsense. All right. Are we ready? Are we ready for the final clue? I don't know if this one's got people's names all over it. I don't know. People don't know this one. Let's find out. Here is your, well, let's review. Clue number one. Is anyone at all sniffing around? What happened? My comments went away. There they went. All right. Kathleen, I bet you know this one. Creative force left fingerprints across film, Broadway, television, orchestra, and popular music. Second. Aw, thanks, Jess. Appreciate it. The composer. This composer helped make a ragtime cool again. Ragtime. Not the Shotgun Ragtime Band, like the Grateful Dead say. I'm talking about real ragtime. All right. Composer helped make ragtime cool again. Here's your third and final clue. This one is probably the giveaway for those who are aware. Connecting Barbra Streisand, The Sting, and one of Broadway's defining musical. Who in the world is this EGOT winner? An Emmy, a Grammy, an Oscar, and a Tony. No longer with us, but we in Gen X, whether we wanted to or not, were exposed to his music through amazing projects you might not even know. I tried to make this one a little tougher. Anybody got a sniff? I'll get back to it in just a moment. But first, before we get too far away from our process, Kindness Compass, got to do it. Kindness Compass, these are the five practical ways to build curiosity this week. First thing, read something outside of your lane. A different industry, a different perspective, a voice. Remember, your brain enjoys field trips. Not just field trips. We all like field trips, right? Not just what I was gonna say. Not just field trips that are self-induced. I'm talking about field trips of exposure. I tried to be subtle, but I'm just not good at it. Ask one better question. Ask one better question. 5 practical ways to build curiosity this week. Your second one is ask one better question. Instead of rushing toward an opinion, just get curious first. Next, we want to learn something with no productivity goal attached. No side hustle. Oh, I got to learn this so I can make something out of it. Oh, I got to learn this so I can build a monetization plan. Just wonder. Just open it. What? What is that? Lean into it. Ask that question. Here's the thing. Collect one delightfully useless fact. We actually have a bathroom book, I guess you'd call it. You know, bathroom books. Come on, let's get real. We all have bathroom books. It's the book of useless information. Anyway, after we collect our useful fact, that's oh, here's perfect. Here it is, Kathleen. I think this hint, this tip, this compass point was built specifically for you. You say you're musically a dummy head? Replace that. I'm not good at that. How about I just haven't explored enough of that? Small world and change, very different mindset. You're not musically a dummy head. You just haven't explored enough of it yet. A very different mindset indeed. All right. That's it. That is your kindness compass for today. Absolutely. All right. So, who's left? Who's left to make a guess? You stumped me this time. Random guess is Richard Rodgers. No, not Richard Rodgers. I went a little deeper, and I only know this guy myself so much. I think maybe I'm very familiar because I play the keyboards, as some of you guys know, and I did take piano lessons when I was a kid. And my piano teacher was a classical pianist and a church pianist. And of course, as a kid, I wasn't really interested in that kind of music myself. But the one thing I could get him to do was let me play some of this guy's music on the side. And one of my first ever pieces that I learned was his. Let me see. Oh, we're going to go back. Creative Force, Fingerprints Cross Film, EGOT, we told you that. Ragtime, cool, because he wrote the soundtrack. There he is, Jess. Well, Patty is the winner. Patty. See? Patty? I knew it. I knew you'd have the knowledge. Thanks for bringing value. It is Marvin Hamlish. Marvin Hamlish, The Way We Were, The Sting, and he won his Tony for a chorus line. Yep, The Way We Were, he won for Summer Place movie, Barbara Streisand, right? I'm trying to think what he won his Grammy. That might have been the Grammy, and the Oscar was for the Tony, or was for the Sting. I don't know, but he's an EGOT winner. Are you kidding me? EGOT? Never heard of Marvin Hamlish, Kathleen? I recommend maybe we'll have a Marvin Hamlish introduction day. He died several years back. You probably never heard of him, but I know you've heard of his music. That's all I have to say for sure. One singular sensation, never listed. Right? You know that one maybe? Or A Summer Place, yes. The Way We Were. That was the song that my piano teacher allowed me to learn, was The Way We Were. Those are Marvin Hamlish tunes, along with that ragtime music from The Sting. If you ever seen the movie The Sting, Paul Newman, all that music. Yep. All right. Yay. You know what I'm so happy about? I hate to tell you guys. I love you all dearly, and I'm so grateful that you come here every day. But I finally got a stump, except for Patty. Patty jumped in at the end. She was like, Hamlish, done. All right. That's cool. I love it. Thank you guys for playing along with my stupid brain. Marvin Hamlish, today was his birthday. It was his birthday. He died in his late 60s. In the early 2000s. So he's, if I recall, I always do things based on people I know, and I think he was relatively near to my mother's age. So maybe he's more of a boomer icon. So I went a little deeper today. We'll get back on track with easy guesses next week, or tomorrow, but thanks for playing along with me today as we talked about Access Hollywood. Yeah, it's gone, man. I wonder what Mario Lopez is going to do next. Mario Lopez was the lead host for a while now on Access Hollywood, and I think they've had a rotating cast of characters. I don't really watch the show. I just know enough to observe and dig in a little bit when I hear news. Just enough to be dangerous, for sure. All right. Ken Jennings, now the host of Jeopardy, 24 years ago? 22 years ago, 2004. Ken Jennings had his first Jeopardy victory. Unbelievable. Just sometimes the time just goes, whoa. All right, that's why you got to take every day, enjoy every day, lean in. I didn't get a chance to tell my Jeopardy story, which I'll just tell real quick before we end. My real story with Jeopardy is that when I was in college, Jeopardy would play we got two different, what channel is, it doesn't matter, two different channels, Jeopardy at 7 and at 7:30 on two different networks or whatever, same episode. So I would watch the 7 p.m. episode, and then go around the other side of the hall to where the guys were watching the 7:30 episode, and we would bet on the Jeopardy. And it took them weeks to figure out. I was coming up with the craziest answers, and I would get easy ones wrong and play the game. And they were like, what? How do you know? How? It was pretty funny until finally someone wisened up and actually saw me watching the 7 p.m. show or something. Anyway, that's my Jeopardy story to end Not quite as smart as Ken Jennings, but I figured out how to scam a few beers out of guys on Jeopardy. Uh, Ken Jennings reminded us that curiosity can be powerful, not because it guarantees you'll win a game show, although not a bad little perk, 2 point something mil. Curiosity does keep us growing, and that's why it keeps us humble. It keeps us connected to possibility. And maybe in a world that rewards instant certainty, choosing to stay curious is its own quiet act of kindness. Who in the world? That was Marvin Hamlish, right? We talked about him, a composer, conductor of Broadway film, and one singular sensation indeed. So that's it for us. Thanks for sticking around this morning. Kindness Rising. Come on back tomorrow morning. We'll have another Who's Who. And until then, stay uncommon and stay kind.